2004 was the year of the Friar in the NKFBL. Eamon Hartnett led his team to win its second NKFBL championship in only its third year. The team might have seen a better fight from the league if the Quahogs didn't trade away parts of one of the greatest pitching staffs ever assembled in the NKFBL. The Hogs used their first 5 draft picks on pitchers and came out with Kurt Schilling, Randy Johnson, Jason Schmidt, Roy Oswalt, and Odalis Perez. In a points league that heavily favored pitching over hitting, who knows what could have been for the Quahogs if this pitching staff wasn't dismantled. 2004, went to the draft with a strategy. Draft some pitchers. And that's what I did. First 5 rounds, boom. Straight pitchers. I got Schilling. Traded up for the first pick to get him his first season with the Red Sox. I was pumped. Got Randy Johnson. Got Jason Schmidt. Roy Oswalt. Odalis Perez. Great rotation. Then people made fun of me. I didn't have enough offense. So of course I gave into that and traded some of my pitching for some offense. And it was ended up being a bad mood. It wouldn't have been a bad move. I made some good trades, but one of my trades I traded with the ominous C-Pods, owned by John Whaley in his 1 year in the league. I traded Jason Schmidt for Morgan Ensberg and Mike Sweeney. It doesn't look like that bad of a trade. But Sweeney and Ensberg had their worst seasons of their career to that point. Schmidt went on to win the Cy Young, and that couldn't get the deal done for Whaley. So he asked me if I could throw in Melvin Moore. I said, sure, I'll throw in Melvin Moore. He ended up hitting about 342 and would have been much more offense than Ensberg and Sweeney combined. Could have been the championship. I could have probably won the championship because the scoring was all about pitching. But instead, traded away those hopes, and the Quahogs crumbled the second year in a row.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I had a great team in 04. Any team, there's a little luck involved, as you guys may see as you look over my 04 roster. I had the great and very reliable Carl Pavano, as well as Kenny Rogers on my squad. And in the old scoring system where steals were worth 3 points, the ever valuable Carl Crawford was also a valuable asset to my team. So, I mean, from top to bottom, you really can't beat what I had, and it's a shame that we didn't have the keeper league back then, as things will probably change for my team this year and next year.
As the members of the NKFBL bid North Kingstown High School goodbye, the NKFBL did the same to its commissioner and 4 of its members.
The badass commissioner. I was the league's first commissioner from 2002 to 2004. It was a good era. I had a lot of crap to deal with, mainly Dave Eaton, Jay Eaton, and Rob Eaton, the Eaton brothers. Dave would always try to cheat his way and grab all Rob and Jay's players. I didn't stand for that. His trades, rejected. That's something that doesn't happen these days. No trades are rejected. Guess as we grow up, people don't screw other people over as much. People don't cheat. Dave Eaton, he cheated. 3 teams, 1 owner. That's how I saw it. We needed a tough commish, put an end to it. I wish we'd reject some trades these days. Tom, I'm looking at you.
Pat Henderson, owner of the Rhode Island Quahogs, took over as acting commissioner after Eric Ustall stepped down. John Whaley and Brian Sullivan, along with Rob and Jay Eaton, were booted from the league. And URI brought along new members such as Jeff Lester, Sean Bizove, and Andrew Charbonneau. Ryan Berard was also reinstated for a second go-around in the league. Along with its new members, the 2005 NKFBL season brought the league to a new home in CBSSportsline.com. And with this new home came a new head-to-head rotisserie style scoring to replace the point system in an effort to make the importance of hitting and pitching equal. The system garnered much support from the league, especially from John Rosinski and the Polska Pandas. The Pandas had a rough time in their first 2 years of existence, but took the 2005 season by storm, starting out 7-4 and leading the Central Division, behind the hot start of their 8th round pick, Derek Lee. Lee went on to finish the season with a .335 batting average and 46 home runs, but the Pandas' stats weren't as promising.
Alright, so 05 was a bittersweet year, more bitter than sweet. It was sweet in the beginning. We started off like like 7-4 or something like that, and the Pandas were straight up knocking it. Thanks to my man Derek Lee. He was hitting like 389 in the first half. He was absolutely bonkers. And then in the second half, as is usual with all Pandas teams, they fade at the end. So we ended up being 11 and 11 going into the final game. I think that's right. Yeah. 11 and 12. I've been corrected. And so we were 11 and 12, and it's always been a Pandas goal. Well, first and foremost, it's the #1 goal of the Pandas to be first place in merchandise sales. And then the second goal is to be a 500 team. So going into that last game against Billy Riley, long known to be the sort of cellar dweller or whatever you want to call it of the league, I figured, all right, I'm going to end 500. And Billy also, at 11 and 12, had a chance to finish 500 for the first time in his much longer and certainly more storied NKFBL career than me. So we went into this final game, and it's coming down to Sunday, and all of a sudden we end up tied, therefore negating any of us being able to reach 500 for the first time in our fantasy baseball lives. And it was crushing. We ended up 11, 12, and 1. The only tie in the entire season. And in my recollection, I think the only tie ever. Once in 4 years. And that was the reason why I didn't end up reaching my second goal.
Billy Riley, who hadn't made a trade since he was fleeced by Ustal back in the Sandbox League, was offered a trade of Alfonso Soriano for Matt Lawton and Tad Iguchi by the same Eric Ustal that ripped him off some 4 years ago. Although the trade was a joke by Ustal and totally one-sided in the favor of Billy, he deliberated for days before coming to the conclusion that the trade was worth doing. However, Ustal shoved it back in his face by posting a league story about the duping of Billy Riley. It was all fun and games in the NKFBL. The Pandas were winning, Ustal was pulling pranks, and a few new college friends were enjoying the greatness of the league. That was, until a 2-sentence story by Eamon Hartnett brought the NKFBL to a halt.
Commishgate. As you guys have all heard, especially from me, Commishgate was a big deal. Our commissioner, Pat Henderson, who's done a fine job since this travesty to our league, got involved in little shady dealings with little roster movements and deletion of the roster transactions on our valuable website here. Let me just tell you from the beginning what exactly happened in my eyes and in the truth. A fellow league member brought up the actual instance to me, and I had actually been following it myself. That league member will be unnamed, as he did not vote the same way I did for the impeachment of our commissioner, Pat Henderson, which is a sad story. I wish that really did happen, but it has turned out for the better. Henderson had made some shady roster transactions after the roster freeze movement of the Monday deadline, and he really just didn't feel like he should share that with the league, so he deleted all transactions that were printed to him. So we were not able to see that. And after me and my fellow unnamed league member discovered this, we brought it to the league's attention of the very promising and intruding league article, which I would hope to create a little more reaction to the entire league. I actually put up a poll for Pat's impeachment, as I mentioned earlier, and I was voted against 11 to 1. That one vote, I will not confirm nor deny on who that exactly was, but it was a shame that the majority of the league did not follow my thinking.